Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review Death Eaters Rising. This is Harry Potter themed. This is similar to like a Thanos Rising
yeah.
or the Star Wars. There's a Star Wars version.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to show the sleeve that like came on the box, but
I like that.
I like this.
Yeah, better.
This a lot. So this is the OP or the OP games. This play is ages 11 and up, which makes sense for the books, right?
Yeah.
If you read all the books. 2 to 4 players, says an hour. I think that can vary a little bit. Like it can run a little longer than that, but an hour's fine.
It could be really short too.
It could
It
be
could be, yeah, you gotta look at it.
really
Yeah.
short. So in Death Eaters Rising, basically you're going to pick your favorite Harry Potter character to start with because it's the starting characters are going to represent
Basically the main characters.
Yeah. But I mean, there's the Order of the Phoenix, there's Hogwarts, and then there is Dumbledore's Army. So those are like the 3 different classifications of characters. So like Harry Potter is in Dumbledore's Army. Sirius Black is like Order of the Phoenix. So is Tonks, right?
Right.
And then in Hogwarts, you've got Minerva and McGonagall
Dumbledore.
and Dumbledore and things like that. So just because you pick like Hogwarts or Order of the Phoenix or Dumbledore's Army does not mean you can only recruit those kind of characters.
Correct.
It just gives you a starting character
Correct.
and then sort of an asymmetrical ability like for that house specific. 2 characters can pick from the same house if you're playing like 3 or more players. I guess you could do it with 2 players too, but you would probably want to spread out, I think.
Yeah, being diversified is good because there'll be a lot of characters that will proc off of like other characters from different like organizations, and so having different ones, everybody's not trying to get the same characters, and because sometimes there can be a struggle for that, right? It's like, oh, I need the Dumbledore's Army people. Like, well, I need the Dumbledore's Army. So being diversified is helpful.
Right. And then there's 3 different locations.
Yep.
There's the Ministry of Magic. There's Diagon Alley. And then I kept forgetting the last one. Hogsmeade is the last one. So again, people familiar with the theme, right off the bat, if you are a Harry Potter fan, this is probably already like you're in good because the theme really comes through. And I would say the same for the Marvel one, right? The Marvel version also.
The theme comes through pretty good.
The theme comes through very well, but there's also a couple different things that are happening,
slightly
right?
different. Yep.
So Voldemort is potentially corrupting these locations. There's plenty of ways to lose this game,
Yes.
and really only one way to win, which is to defeat Voldemort. And he is basically going to be stacked. Once you've got your starting character, you're going to seed the board, and Voldemort is going to go in the middle of the deck.
Yeah, roughly in the middle. Just kind of cut it and put it in there.
Yep. And then when you get to him, he's going to go on his own place, where normally all the other characters are going to pop out at locations. Because on your turn, you're going to build your dice pool based on your house and then basically any other special abilities your characters give you. So they're going to give you extra dice. They might give you rerolls.
Yep. Let you heal people.
Right. And then so once you build your dice pool, then you're going to take your token that represents your house and you're going to choose a location to go to.
Yep.
Then you're going to roll this nice big green die that's super friendly and nothing ever bad happens when you roll this die.
Yeah, it's a great die. It's Happy Times die.
So you're going to roll that, and it's going to tell you either right or left, or it is going to have the death mark on it, right?
It's got
or the
nice
dark
little
mark.
arrows on it.
And it's got arrows specifically
which way it means
tell you
by
which
right.
way. And then so you're going to turn and point Voldemort in that direction, and he's going to attack everybody at that
area.
location.
Yep.
So if you chose to go to that location, he's going to hit all of your wizards in addition to hitting the
Everybody
wizards that are
there.
at that location.
Yep.
If there's any Death Eaters marked at that location, he will then also trigger their abilities.
Yep.
And potentially other Death Eater abilities also
Depending on what you roll,
if they've got that icon there. So then if you have Voldemort out, you could potentially hit him if you've defeated enough Death Eaters. Well, at least one Death Eater. You could do 1 damage to him. And then you're going to roll all your dice. And you're basically, it's sort of like a Yahtzee style. You're going to choose to keep some. You can re-roll others, and you basically go until you've up to 3, right?
Yep.
And then you're going to assign your dice. And you could assign them to either recruit characters.
Yep.
If you recruit a character, all the damage falls off of them, and they now are part of your group. Excuse me. Or you could use it to assign a damage to a Death Eater there. And if you do that, you get one of these handy spell tokens that's face down. But when you get it, you turn it face up. It might give you an extra die that you can, roll
add
on
to
a future
somebody's thing.
turn.
Yep.
Might
Take
give
damage
you-
off somebody.
Or
Might
some
give you
kind of point-
symbols.
symbol.
you know, which are the different die faces, things like that.
Little helpful things.
Yes. Excuse me. So that is a very brief and
Kind of
generic
rundown, yeah.
overview of how to play and what you're doing when you play. But components-wise, like the other versions of this game, well, I've only played the one other version, but I really love the like full-size,
Mini-die,
full-painted, you know, statue that you get of the character, you know, as they are, you know, bouncing from locations. I like that. I appreciate that. I love the colored cubes. I like the dice.
I like the
Dice are nice. The colors on them are a little tricky
Right.
to tell apart.
Yeah, so so Bob has some color blindness, and so there are some things that, I mean, the icons are very clear.
Yeah, so like on each die, depending on what color it is or faction it's from,
Right.
there'll be like a 2 symbol. Like they all have ones of things, and then they all have 1 2 value icon.
Yep.
And so depending on what, you know, when they're from, like it'll be like the 2 hats or the 2 phoenixes or 2 swords. And you can look at that number, or you know, that symbol to figure out which die it's actually from. But just looking
Right.
at it, the colors are hard to distinguish it apart just by looking at the colors themselves. It could have been a little bit different color palette, a little bit easier.
Sure. Not a
but yeah.
deal breaker
Not a
because you
deal
can at
breaker,
least
but-
go off the iconography
Correct.
pretty well.
You just
right?
got to like look for it. Okay, that's a phoenix one because it's got 2 phoenixes. Oh, this one's got 2 swords on it. That's the courage one. So that's how I was having to tell them apart.
Sure.
Like those 2 there, you can see them in the camera or whatever, but I could not tell those apart without looking at them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But you came up very quickly with a good way to identify.
yeah.
But you're used to it.
Yeah. Learn, adapt, overcome, right?
That's right. That's right. But I mean, overall, components-wise, I mean, so the
Yeah, this die is really nice.
the art on the cards, I mean, it's basically screen caps
Yep.
of the characters.
Yep, real life, yep.
A few of them are actually art, like Fox Phoenix is actual art.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I believe that Fleur Delacour is also drawn.
Nagini, or
Maybe.
Yeah, Nagini's also drawn. The snake.
Maybe they are archer
So a few of
realistic.
them are drawn,
so-
but it's
Sure.
actually really good art.
Yeah, it looks like a picture. Even the
No,
ones that are
it's-
drawn look
Yeah,
like
it's
a
perfect
photo.
for the style. It
Yeah.
really is.
And then again, the locations are all very much on theme and convey,
Yeah.
you know,
They seem to be
positive.
drawn as well.
I think the positives and negatives on these are kind of generic, but I don't know that you've got to go so crazy with a theme that you absolutely have to have everything.
Ultra original art and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what you would do if, like, one of these Ministry of Magic locations was completely corrupted, so then you get that negative from them.
Oh,
I don't
see.
know. You might be, like, overcomplicating it if it's, like, this one
Sure.
specifically.
Well, you could have like one side, like, oh, this is what it looks like when everybody's in there, and then you
Oh.
flip it over, and it's like, oh, the lights are burnt out, and the glass
the
is broken,
busted-
and
the
everything's
busted
going-
side,
cool.
sure.
Yeah, like that could be a way to like
Yeah.
you know zhuzh it up a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah, it doesn't really need that. I don't think.
No.
It's
No,
fine.
but I really like the components. I like
Yep.
these dice. I
Mhm.
like the engraved die, you know,
Yes.
painted,
They have turn
engraved.
order summary on the
Yep,
back
I was
of
gonna
all
say,
of your
I like that.
player cards.
That's handy.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I do think, so the back of the book has a really nice reference.
yeah.
Yeah, it has a breakdown of what all the die faces are.
But
I-
I mean, like the spell tokens, they were intuitive enough. I didn't
Yeah,
need.
didn't ever need that. You
up.
look at it like, oh yeah,
No.
obviously that adds one of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think there could have been on the back. I think I would have liked
A turn summary.
one more reference to like what loses the game, like how many
Oh,
heroes
endgame or
die,
whatever.
you know,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Sure.
Again, not the end of the world
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
super
tons of really
nitpicky.
good player
Yeah.
aids. That is a nitpick, right?
yep.
Full yeah. I fully admit that is a nitpick on a game that I think is already
Yep.
really good.
And I don't know, pick like Spencer said, you know, a little cardboard standee might have been nice. It makes it a little easier to see your person and to pick it up
Yeah.
and take it off the board.
Yeah, as
But
is,
the
you just
tokens
have
work fine.
The token, you put it here, and then when you're done, you have to remember to take
Take
your
your
token
token
off,
back.
which
Oh,
we
man.
never remembered to do.
Look at that's-
No,
that's very nitpicky.
you never
Yeah.
remember to
and-
do.
and-
No,
I wasn't the only one.
Tom got really good at pulling everybody else's off.
He did,
because
yeah.
after we called him out
Jeff,
on it a few
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I guess I don't feel like it needs that, but
Correct.
No.
It's another one of those little nitpicky things.
Yeah.
That
Right.
Doesn't need it.
Definitely
Would have been
nitpick.
nice, sure, but does it need it? No.
But components wise, really good.
Yep.
Really nice out of the box. Like you don't have to do anything to this game to like make it nice.
Yep.
Yeah, well produced. Like the art, like the cards. I like the quality.
Yep.
Um,
Nice thick cards.
I mean, yeah, you could see these being like a thicker cardstock, but you don't need it to be. It's fine
It's
with
fine.
what it
Yep.
is.
Mhm.
So, anyways, we are gonna rate this game between all of us, we're each going to give it our individual rating, which then we will average out and put one
Score,
rating
yep.
onto Board Game Geek for this. And so because of that, we're going to use the Board Game Geek 1 to 10
System,
scale, right?
Yeah.
Spencer, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. But to begin with, I thought that the game, I wouldn't say balance is the issue. It's how balanced the beginning game is versus the end game. Beginning game is ridiculously difficult. You could easily die and almost never get your turn. End game is ridiculously easy. We were like, no one had any damage because I could heal everyone, and we're just, oh yeah, I'll just throw this, do this, and so I feel that they needed to shift that balance
just
a little
bit.
And that was actually the same problem I had with Thanos Rising. It was super hard in the beginning. I can't tell you how many times I played that game, and I just got so frustrated in the first 2 turns because I couldn't do a thing.
Yeah, if you have a hard time getting like your first extra character to start building your dice pool, it makes it super difficult to get going.
And just missing 1 turn in the beginning is enough to kill you. And my first turn in here, I didn't get enough to make anything. So I'm going to give this one a 6.5.
I would say play better.
That's not a bad strategy.
But no, that's fair.
me,
I understand. Yeah.
That's a big problem I don't really like. But if you are a Harry Potter fan, I would bump that up.
Yeah.
I'm okay, Harry Potter fan.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love it. I love the world. I've been there. It's amazing, right? And I have the Thanos Rising. I do enjoy that. I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed the Thanos. I mean,
But you're more of a Harry Potter fan than a Marvel fan.
yes, it's not to say I don't like Marvel.
No,
but
yeah.
I'm more into the Harry Potter than I am.
Right.
Than I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. You can like both, but one you like more.
Do you think the IP made a difference?
Yes, I do. Like the little bits of tweaks they did, because in the Thanos one, it's like, okay, I'm punchy, I'm tech. This one is like, no, we're in Dumbledore's army. The theme made a little more sense. And I like how you to fight, because in that one also, all you're doing is defeating the minions. You don't fight Thanos at all.
Right.
And so this one is kind of nice because you do have to defeat Voldemort, but you have to defeat his guys protecting him before you can do enough damage to kill him. And I enjoyed that. I love just the characters in it. McGonagall, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody else. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I do, like I said, I really prefer this one to the other one, and I think I could get. That's the other thing too, is I know a lot of Harry Potter fans, and anything you do to get them in,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this system. So I like, and I don't have the balance problem with it that Spencer does. I get what you're saying, but I also feel like that by the end, it's not necessarily that easy because you still have to play smart. Because usually by the end, you are very close to losing.
Right.
And so you're having to do a lot of damage
Protect
control.
some people, do some damage, keep things from getting corrupted.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not always able to. You guys were set up in a position where you were able to go after Voldemort pretty well at
hardcore.
the end.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. That was a situation specific. So these games are going to be very swingy. You're going to have to be okay with those games being very swingy.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fine. You just need to know that, and you need to be okay with that if you're going to play this style of game. And I would say that that's not exclusive to this version, right?
No, yeah.
That is an across the board for this system, the Rising system, or lack of a better, right?
Sure.
Swing is a good way to put it.
But I like Harry Potter enough. I've read all the books. I've seen half of the movies. Didn't stop for any particular reason. Just
That's funny. I've read half the books and seen all the movies.
oh, I'd recommend reading all the books.
I got to get back to
They're
that.
good.
Yeah.
You'd go through them pretty quick. I mean,
Yeah, that's
they're
probably true.
YA, right? But anyways, so as someone who does appreciate theme, this is not really just pasted on, right? I feel like that this makes sense. The theme makes sense. The theme is really good. It shows. The theme really shows and comes through. There's enough differences. I don't know that I would need to have both the Marvel one and this one in my collection. Like if I would just go with the theme that I like more.
Sure.
Or like you were talking about, the theme I think I could get played more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, if you've got more Marvel heads, right, in your, in your group, versus Harry Potter, fanatics,
Yeah.
you go one way or the other. And I haven't played, would like to, but the Star Wars one, I'm gonna guess similar.
Yeah, I haven't played that one. That's the one I haven't played yet.
But yeah, I think I'm right with you guys. I think it's like a 7.5. I think I would give the Marvel one like an 8 because I like Marvel more. But I think that I don't have any problems with this. This game plays. pretty intuitively. Like once you get the rules down, it's pretty easy. And the turns are pretty much. There's some tough decisions, but everything makes sense.
Yeah.
You just make sure you're following the steps. Trigger X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So it can get a little fiddly, but I don't have a problem with that. So that's not a negative for me.
Right. So all of our scores tallied together, 7.2.
Right,
Yeah.
7.2.
It's pretty good.
Really good. I think
Yeah.
anything over a 7 is 7 or higher is
Recommendable.
good.
Yeah.
Recommendable. And again, if this is a theme you like, I'm just going to tell you.
Your score's probably at least 1 point higher.
Yeah.
very well. Very well. I don't know between this one and Thanos Rising which one I liked better.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I really have to think about
And
that.
I like difficult co-ops. Like
Right.
I don't mind getting smacked around by a good co-op.
Right,
and,
right.
and this will smack you around.
Yeah.
So you got to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I, when you win a difficult co-op, it just feels that much
Very
better, right?
rewarding, yeah.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up for Death Eaters Rising. So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.